What's going on, everybody? It's Mick coming to you from the kitchen table. And I want to start off today by saying that this video is not for everybody. Okay, so if it's not for you, I am not offended. Feel free to stay with us and listen in. But I know that there's somebody who's out there today that's looking for something more in life. Somebody who's tired of the repetition that they see from day to day, right? And those are the people that I'm really reaching out to right now. I saw a video earlier today online that really summed up, kind of what I've been feeling for multiple years now. And the video was talking about the first time you rode on a merry-go-round. Now, picture this. Can you remember the first time you rode on a merry-go-round? You might have been at a carnival, at an amusement park, and you saw that merry-go-round as a little child, and you were so excited. You said, Mommy, please, can I ride the merry-go-round? Can I ride the merry-go-round? So your mom gets you a ticket, and you get on that merry-go-round, and you sit on that horse, and you're just so excited to be on that merry-go-round. Then the ride starts, and you realize after not very long that there's not a whole lot to this thing, right? You go up a little bit, you come down a little bit, but you're continually going round and round in circles. You're not really making much progress. You're just going round and round in circles. And it begins to become monotonous even and somewhat boring. But you look around you and everyone else seems to be happy on their horse. So you're wondering, is it me? I mean, what's going on here? And you realize that this is just not fulfilling. That's how we live our lives a lot of times on our jobs, And if you're lucky enough to make it into management or an executive role or whatever, you realize after a while that your job is to keep other people on the ride, including yourself, right? But then one day the ride ends. Finally, the ride ends. And you know what day that is? That's the day you die, if you don't make another change in your life, right? So again, I just want people to understand, look, there's more to this thing, right? You don't have to settle for the merry-go-round. You don't have to settle for the monotonous. You can take control and get off of that thing, and then live the life that you've always been dreaming of. So the main thing I want to talk to you guys about today is it's not important how much money you make. A lot of us buy into this thing that it's all about how much money we make. Right? But really, that's not the real game. The real game is where you earn your money from. It's how you get it. Understand me? So I'm going to share something with you guys, and I'm about to bring this in here in a second. But recently I was on vacation, and I had the opportunity to reread a book that I had read many years ago. And it's called The Cash Flow Quadrant by Robert Kiyosaki. Robert Kiyosaki is also the author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And in his book, Cash Flow Quadrant, he really talks about where money is earned from. And he also breaks down the types of individuals that reside in each of these quadrants, and even to the point of how the conversations differ depending on which quadrant you're earning from, right? I'm going to share with you real quick. Here we have the left side of the quadrant. And the E, that's where most of us begin, right? That's where we first start off. That's an employee. Now, the thing about being an employee is that the position is not about you, for one, right? And how much you earn is not about you, but more so it's about, the position itself, or what the employer is willing to pay you at that position. Your income is limited. Your opportunity to accumulate wealth is somewhat limited as well, because it's dependent on that position. Right? That's the person who's on that merry-go-round. And when they, finally get off that merry-go-round, they just give somebody else who has a ticket your seat. Right? Now, here you have the self-employed. And self-employment is honorable, man. I mean, straight up. This is a lot of people who, they work their way from here to here and they start their own business. Now, the only struggle, and I use that word, strategically, but the struggle with being self-employed is, a lot of times you tend to burn out because your ability to earn is based upon your own efforts. And these are the people like barbers. These are people like real estate agents who, they got to do more. The conversation of a real estate agent is, I got to sell more houses. The conversation of a barber is, I need to cut more heads. But it's always based on their own effort, right? Now, once you start breaking over to the right side of the quadrant here, the B is a business owner. The thing about a business owner, where they differ from a self-employed person, if a self-employed person goes on vacation, guess what? They ain't earning no money because it's based on what they do. A business person can go on, a business owner, I should say, can go on vacation because what they really own is a system, right? And the system is going to continue to earn perpetually whether the owner is there or not. Okay, so that's the important thing, and keep that in mind. And then the fourth quadrant down here is where we all aspire to be, is an investor. And an investor is simply someone who says to their money, go out and make me some more money today. If you haven't had the opportunity here, I would recommend reading The Richest Man in Babylon. Awesome book, but it talks about how your money should be your slave and how you should send that money out every day to make you more money. Now, this is where we want to be. The question is, what's the quickest way to get here? It's going to be very difficult to get from an E to an I, right? Because again, your wages, everything is limited, right? It's a job. The only difference between this job and this job is you own this job, correct? So the best way to get to the investor is to come from the business owner standpoint. That's it. I'm not going to go too deep on this today. I just want everyone to know that there are options, right? You don't have to just settle for where you are and remain in that seat on the merry-go-round. And if you're riding the merry-go-round, you can ride it while you're building your business at the same time, so that at least you got yourself a parachute to escape at some point. Those are the people that I want to talk to. So if you're one of those people who's looking how to go from an E to a B, reach out to me. Hit me on inbox, call me, whatever the case may be, and let's talk about it. Let's set up a plan for yourselves, all right? Appreciate you. Have a wonderful day. Again, this is your boy Mick coming from the kitchen table. Have a wonderful day.